How's it, everybody? Welcome back to part two of the Gridiron Bangahz. We went over pretty much a couple of teams free agency, the big key, big key signings, all the big names on the last video. So check that out. But like I said, we'll be going over the Rams, Eagles, Steelers on this one. A lot happening, at least through me and Jake's team. But we'll start with Bryson since today's Friday for us. So some big news came out this morning from the Rams. Saddening news, happy news for a lot of other teams, especially in that NFC West. So throw it over to you to start it, Bryson.
Yeah, if you didn't know already, Aaron Donald announcing his retirement. Um, sad to see him go, but I wasn't too surprised. I mean, I definitely was hoping that he was going to run it back again, but I know that it was, you know, always going to be kind of on the fence, especially after winning a Super Bowl. The year immediately after, he was like, I'm contemplating it, um, this could be it. So, essentially, the last 2 years, kind of the same thing, was up in the air whether he was going to come back. Last year he did, and yeah, this year he's finally hanging it up. I get it. At some point, some other things in your life kind of take more priority than playing football. Definitely still fairly young. I mean, only kind of 10 seasons in the league. We've seen a lot of defensive guys, go upwards of 15 years, even more than that. So definitely not necessarily old age retirement. Just maybe he's got other priorities in life, his family, his kids and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, phenomenal career from him. Obviously, arguably the best, our best player. Um, Super Bowl champion. I think he's content with the career he's had. He can say that he's gotten out of football what he's wanted. I still think our defense, it's obviously not going to be the same without him. Being such a huge piece, demanding double teams, if not triple teams. But I think the young core of our defensive line is pretty solid. I think having him as a mentor definitely helped. But I think those guys are, they're ready to take over the mantle and kind of take over. Definitely not going to be same caliber, just because when you lose that caliber of a player, your defense will never really be the same after that. But yeah, it hurts to see him go, but still love him. Always gonna have a place for him with the team, and he'll go down as probably the greatest Ram ever. And you could argue top 5, top 3 greatest defensive player ever. So yeah, tough loss for us, but I think the future's still bright. And then some other signings. Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know how I feel about that one. Being a former 49er and kind of being on the team that's the arch nemesis. Obviously, there's a lot of disdain for him, but I mean, from a pure business standpoint, he's a decent backup. He's had his flashes of regular season success with the Niners, Patriots, a little bit there with the Raiders, but the injury and kind of struggled with them. But he was taking them to the conference finals with the Niners, and then obviously they couldn't make it much further than that. But it's a good signing as a backup to Stafford. If Stafford gets hurt, he could definitely come in and continue to keep us afloat. And then not really too many other big signings. I do like the Darius Williams, cornerback. He was with us a few years ago. He was with us that Super Bowl run. Went to the Jaguars, and now he's back again. So I liked him when he was with us. That first year with the Jags, I thought he was pretty decent. Was definitely a standout on that defense, and he kind of had a few quiet years after that. Hopefully, he can have a resurgence with us with that defense. With our system that he's kind of familiar with. And then really, there aren't really any other names really on, like you said, just a quiet off season other than Aaron Donald. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they make some moves come the draft. We know Sean McVay, Les Snead, they're not afraid to take those risks in the draft. So I expect them to make most of their big moves in the draft this year.
Yeah, I mean, the big news I'm probably just gonna bring up real quick is Aaron Donald retirement. Like you said, he will go down as one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackles. Obviously, well, we know that's a sensitive topic between you two, but for sure will go down as probably the best modern day NFL defender. So that's without a doubt. Yeah, he was so good that pretty much everybody was playing second fiddle to him in this his last the last decade. So even my guy Fletcher Cox retiring was just overshadowed by how great Aaron Donald is. He just retired too, but see, that's what I mean. Never could get those first team All Pros because of Aaron Donald, but that's just that's just an acclamation to Aaron Donald's success. So it's a great career. Got his ring, so congrats to him.
Yeah, not too much to say about the at least Ram signing. Salute to what's his name, the guard you guys had. You re-signed him.
Kevin Dotson.
Kevin Dotson, former Steeler. Was a fan of him. Kind of sad to see him leave, and great to see him do great, but hurts a little. But salute to him. But Aaron Donald, yeah, amazing career. I mean, you guys pretty much said most of it. Just what he's done. It makes sense. He retired. I mean, there was the talk where he was thinking about it 2 years ago. There's nothing really in this league he has yet to accomplish. I mean, multiple time All Pro, first team All Pro, multiple time Defensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl champion. Resume speaks for itself. Could have retired 2 years ago, and I don't think there's any debate he would have been first ballot Hall of Fame. So amazing career. Definitely going to hurt the Rams. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I still have them being second in that division, still behind the Niners, but definitely a big loss. But they're starting to get some young pieces, like Bryson said. So they still have a future to look forward to. Not like how they looked like 2 years ago, where we thought once Aaron Donald was out, this team would collapse because they had nothing else. But they've started to use their draft picks wisely, and yeah, great career for him. And yeah, congrats. But yeah, that'll wrap up the Rams. We'll jump over to my team. We'll see if Jake's team's for last because he had at least the biggest free agency in my opinion. But Pittsburgh Steelers, if you guys haven't heard already, Russell Wilson signed to us for a 1 year deal. I think believe he's making like 1 mil, 1.3 mil around there, 1.6 mil. So Broncos paying 37, 38 mil of his contract for next year. So I'm not mad. Wasn't mad that we were gonna get if we got Russ anyway, but getting him on a 1 year deal for 1 mil literally doesn't hurt us. If we want to bring in any other quarterback, want to do whatever we want, we can get rid of him next year and it doesn't hurt us. We can bench him this year and it really doesn't hurt us because again, it's $1 million. We paid bench players probably more than that. So I like the signing. I mean, he's going to be our QB1 as it stands right now. He's the only QB in our room. And with that said, we did trade away Kenny Pickett to the Eagles. I'll save the details for that when we talk with Jake and the Eagles. But it makes sense. Just it didn't seem like Kenny reacted the right way with Russ. Didn't seem like he reacted the right way at the end of the season when he got benched for Mason. I guess character was kind of the reason why Pittsburgh Steelers wanted to get off of him. He kind of seemed like he requested the trade, which didn't make sense. He went to a team that has a future QB locked up for a couple of years, so I don't know why it was his childhood team, so maybe just nostalgia wise, but not mad about it. I was hoping he would stay here and compete with Russ, but he didn't have that mindset. I thought that's who he was. Kind of got that wrong. Still cheering for him. Hope he has a great career. But Yeah, definitely the Steelers are going to look to add a QB. I don't know where. I don't think it's going to be early in the draft. I can't see us spending that kind of capital. With this Justin Fields talk continuing to go further and further, or continue to go longer and longer, I can see us maybe making a move if it gets dirt cheap. We'll talk a little about that later, probably, or maybe in another week. But yeah, QB room is going to be a question mark for us. Our other big signings were Patrick Queen, who stole them from the Ravens. Great signing, in my opinion. 3-year deal for 41 mil. Made sense. We had, I mean, last year Quan Alexander was great at middle linebacker, but injuries really destroyed that group, and it's never been a secure group since we lost Ryan Shazier. It's been a position we've been struggling at. Brian Devin Bush ended up not being it. Kept bringing in veterans, just kept rotating throughout them. So signing a young player that had a fantastic year last year for a pretty good deal, in my opinion. It's going to be huge. Just another big name on our defense that's already been stacked. And probably our last biggest news for the Steelers is we did trade away Deontay Johnson and a 7th-round pick for Dante Jackson and a 6th. We did want to get another cornerback, so that kind of made sense. I'm not the biggest fan of this trade. I think Deontay is worth more than that. We don't know what we're doing for our receiver 2 and 3. We have Calvin Austin. He could be a great slot, but still very young. So we definitely need another receiver. We do well with drafting receivers, so that's probably where we're going to end up. But I would like a more secure name at that receiver 2, just to give Russell Wilson another option. Just so it's not just Pickens out there having to get double covered because there's no other receiver help. But I'm a fan of this offseason so far. I think we made some great moves. Kenny Pickett news definitely hurts me. It was a tough morning when I saw that, but we'll move on. We'll find someone new. We'll bounce back. The Steelers always do, so not too worried, but yeah. Interesting offseason. I am still figuring out feelings.
Steelers country, let's ride.
That's right.
I can't even begin to tell you that the QB situation is downright awful. Yes, it is.
It's Russ.
Yeah, it's washed Russ. That's what
Dangerous.
he ain't cooking. He is cooked. All right.
It's not washed Russ. It's downhill Russ.
Dangerous.
It's not washed yet. But it's not the Russ we saw in Seattle. I can admit
Mr. Unlimited.
I'm going to have to unfollow the Steelers social media account, I think.
I'm telling you now, do not be optimistic about Russ. I'm just telling you right now. Do not put yourself through that, all right?
I ride and die with our QB1. And right now it's Russ. And I will live and die on this hill.
Yeah, stop doing that. My goodness.
The Steelers don't make wrong moves.
They don't make wrong moves.
They don't make wrong moves.
Apparently they did, but all right.
Continue. Move on.
You sure you want to move on? It's just going to hurt you more if we move on.
Just go with what you have to say.
All right. Before I get to the 2 big signings for the Eagles, I'll go over quickly the other ones that they went. The other acquisitions that they made. They made a lot, so I'll go through them. I'll go through them real quick. So Eagles ended up extending offensive guard Landon Dickerson, one of the upcoming young talented guards in the league. So made him the highest paid guard. Re-signed Jake Elliott. They also brought in Devin White on a 1-year deal. We'll see how that one goes. I'm not too high on him, but it's worth taking a flyer on at this point. And then, they also bring back Brandon Graham, bring back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who took a year off in Detroit and ended up coming back. So we'll see how that goes. I'm iffy on that one. He's a decent safety. I'll say that. He's a little inconsistent at times, but overall, we got safety help. It's better than nothing. For the edge, going back to edge position, they signed Bryce Huff from the Jets, signing a 3-year, $51.1 million contract. Now we have lots of edge rushers. I know there was talks about moving on, trading Son Reddick, Josh Sweat. So we'll find out what happens. But it seems like Josh Sweat is probably staying since he restructured his contract. But yeah, we'll see in the coming weeks what happens. Maybe even before the draft, if somebody's moved. I'm hoping we just keep all those edge rushers for the year. So yeah, time will tell. But I'm sorry, Devontae Parker, another one. He's on the team now. It's a lot of guys, but yeah, we'll start off with who do you want to start first? Running back for QB. Where do you want to go first?
It's the end of the Jalen Hurts era and the beginning of the Kenny Pickett era.
All right, we'll start there. Yeah, we'll start right there then. Yeah. Kenny Pickett is now a Philadelphia Eagle. Is something similar to
You
the
mean
Sam
he's
Howell
now
trade?
the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles? Get his title
Yes.
correct.
Yes, his childhood team. So yes, this is his dream come true. We so yeah, it's the Steelers. Sorry, acquired in a trade with the Steelers along with okay, got it right here. Eagles got Pickett for they acquired Pickett, a 4th-round pick. I think actually that's it. Yeah, Pickett and a 4th-round pick. They gave up a 3rd-rounder and 2025 sevenths. So yeah, I don't really count those because those are like 7th-round picks. But yeah, so we gave up that for a backup quarterback. Honestly, I just laughed at it because I know how Brandon feels about him. So it was just kind of it's kind of hysterical, honestly. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not too high on this one. I'd rather have brought in Tyler Huntley. Honestly, I'll be very honest with you. I was high on Pickett until the end of last season. I kind of made my judgment on him by the end of the last season. So I'm definitely out on him already. Yes, he's coming in as a backup, which yeah, he might be fine. I think that's probably more suitable at this point. But I would just rather have somebody else. Like, I'll be very honest with you. I'd rather have Sam Howell at this point than Kenny Pickett. I'm sorry. And I don't even know if he's going to win the backup job because our backup quarterback last year was better than Mariota. So he was throwing darts. So I don't know. We'll see how training camp battle goes. But I also didn't like how you said just about him kind of shying away from competition, wanting wanting the job handed to him. At this point, you lost your job to Mason Rudolph, so I don't think you have that say, whether it was with Russ or Mason Rudolph. Um, I'm okay with it. I'm not upset about it. Like I said, I'd rather have somebody else, but it's a decent trade in my opinion. I wouldn't have done it though.
Yeah, I'm still looking at this and it doesn't feel real to me. But yeah, like I said, I hope.
I'm envisioning a Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady situation here in Philadelphia.
You mean a Nick Foles?
Jalen Hurts is going to go down, and the GOAT's going to come in.
You mean Nick Foles, Carson Wentz deal? Going to
take
that?
over.
I love how you only talk about now that he's gone. This man has never said a single good thing about Kenny after he's gone.
What are you talking about? I was high on him.
Yeah, he bought the card, remember?
Yeah, then he sold the car like week 2.
Yeah, thank God. Oh.
But, yeah, it hurts a little bit, but I mean, yeah, I thought he was gonna want to stick around for the competition. Knowing that he didn't want to stick around for the competition makes me a lot more okay with getting rid of him. But yeah, I question why the Eagles trade for him. I didn't understand it really. I mean, I guess you guys need a backup, but you guys didn't give up much for it. But I feel like that's the name you need.
I can tell you why. I think at least. So yeah, obviously they're the QB factory. You remember that? So they're the QB factory. They're always gonna be going after 1st-round talents, no matter the year. That's how they brought in Devin White. I don't think that was a Vic Fangio signing. I think that was just our GM always going after these high athletes coming out of high school, whether they're high-rated stars or just high draft picks. Devin White being the 5th overall pick a few years ago. So that's probably what that was. He's doing his due diligence, calling around, see what the asking price is. But also, there was that rumor that the Eagles were interested in Justin Fields. So I think that fell through because the asking price was more than they were willing to give up, which was pretty much a third-round pick. So I hate to break it to you, you're not getting Justin Fields for dirt cheap if the Eagles already tried to acquire him for, what, swapping a 3 and a 4 or something. But yeah, I think that's kind of what it came down to. They couldn't get Justin Fields, so they kind of just went to Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I still have zero clue what your team's doing because it looks like you guys want to buy all in with the class you guys have. I mean, I love the Bryce Huff signing. I like Devin White. I'm a huge fan of him, so I've liked it. But it seems like you guys are buying all in, but now there's talks that you guys are questioning your QB. So
I wouldn't say
I'm
that.
very good. You're talking about Justin Fields coming in. You traded for Kenny Pickett. I get it's not much, but the fact that you guys were thinking about going for Justin Fields has you questioning something about Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. Maybe you guys overpaid him or something, but I mean, if you believe he's a franchise, I don't see you ever trading for one of these guys. You never see a team with a franchise
I
guy
mean,
trade.
they were trying to get him for, in your words, dirt cheap, which I think anybody should do it, even if you have your franchise quarterback. You're just going to be renting a guy for a year, maybe 2. If he has to come in, play a game or 2, you can hopefully trade him off, get better compensation. I think that was the idea, but obviously, yeah, Justin Fields, the sweepstakes fell through for the Eagles. Yeah, Kenny Pickett's in, so I don't really see Kenny Pickett definitely being an issue. I know a lot of people were saying that Justin Fields being in here would be an issue, but I don't know. We don't have to worry about it now. So
If you sign Justin Fields, I can't see him being content with riding the bench.
yeah, he probably wouldn't be, but I mean, doesn't have a lot of options now since the Bears pretty much holding him hostage. So, I don't know. That's how I see it. You know, but I will agree with you. At least you said Devin. Oh, Devin White and Bryce stuff. That's what he said.
I'm a fan of those two.
I'm iffy. Bryce stuff can be good. I don't think he's better than what we have now. That if we're gonna keep Bryce Huff and get rid of one of the other 2 guys, I'm not a fan of that. But we'll see. He's a good pass rusher, not good run defender. But yeah. And then if you want, we can finally get to the biggest surprise to me was Saquon Barkley signing. I think everybody knows at this point, Eagles don't invest in running backs. Free agency draft, we don't do it. And I didn't think that was gonna happen this year, just because everybody knows that. But I guess we ended up signing Saquon Barkley, and I think, like I told, I don't remember when it was, but we talked about it here. I was in the boat where I don't know if I would bring in Barkley because just his injury history. You know, I would have brought in Derrick Henry. Um, I don't know. I kind of still feel that way, but at the same time, he's obviously when he's on the field, he's a talented back. It's just a matter of health. So I think now I'm coming around, getting more excited about it. Initially, I was like, okay, I'm very shocked because I did not believe any of the rumors because that always happens with rumors. They just always hype up Eagles fans and it never happened. But yeah, I actually can't wait to see this offense with Saquon Barkley in it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna talk myself into this signing over the whole offseason. I'm liking it now. But yeah, it's good to just get one over the Giants on this one too.
I can't stop staring at this Kenny Pickett. I feel like I'm just gonna wake up from a dream. But yeah, I think great signing. I mean, also stealing from your division also feels good. I know the feeling for once this offseason. But yeah, great signing. Like I think they want to invest in a running back position just because I mean we know Kel's retired, big piece of your O line. Um, you're not sure if you can get a decent running back with consistent production behind offensive line losing a Hall of Famer. So it kind of makes sense to me investing for once in a running back, especially one of that caliber. As long as he can stay healthy, he is, I would say, a top three running back in this league. Just we've seen what Saquon does. He played for the Giants, and they've never been a great team, but he has made them look really great. He's carried Daniel Jones to get paid what 40 mil a year. So I think he's a great player. Injury history, like you said, is the biggest problem, but I like the signing. It's a scary offense with the pieces you guys have. I will admit that. A lot of Pro Bowlers, All Pros on that offense, and I mean it puts you in that contention with the Niners, who again another team just stacked from head to toe. You guys are pretty much right behind them, or if not tied with them. I think I'm gonna lean the Niners a little bit right now overall, but
Debo's not a receiver.
huh?
Debo's not a wide receiver.
He was not a wide receiver,
I'm just
but
saying.
I
I'm just saying.
hot take I might take Ayuk over Devontae.
I mean,
I got to think about that, but
I don't.
I
I mean, I know,
might
but
take.
that's a debatable, but I think that's fair.
But yeah, AJ Brown doesn't step up to anyone. But yeah, great signing, great offseason. I've loved the Eagles offseason so far.
You got anything, Bryson?
I don't know. It was an interesting one, but I mean, we know that last year, the end of last year was a tough time for y'all. So I mean, maybe I know you said that they don't normally invest in a running back, but maybe they're thinking, hey, we need to do things differently. Because clearly things fell apart last year, and I think maybe they're thinking, like you said, Kelsey being gone. That kind of they had some big play from Swift, and obviously he's gone. So I think they don't want to regress back to having that, kind of role player running back who isn't a household name, just kind of uh, really can only take advantage of what the offensive line can do for him. Whereas with Saquon, in theory, you can get, more from him on his own, um, combined with, your guys' above average line. Obviously, post Kelsey, we'll have to see what that's going to look like. But I still think your guys' line is great. Um, but yeah, having that, like Braden said, potential top running back never hurt nobody. And yeah, I think hopefully this will be, that piece they needed to kind of get them back to what they were.
Like you said, I think like both of you guys said that. Yeah, it probably is a little bit of that, like partially that, where you lose Jason Kelsey, you just want to make sure the run game is still going to be there. O line is still going to be good. Kelsey will be a big loss. They'll have to adjust, gel. Maybe in the beginning of the season might be a bit rocky, but yeah, they'll have to learn, and they're not going to ever replace him. But they got to figure out what's going to work for them. But I think it also comes down to, I guess they see Saquon as uh, more of just a run, more than a running back. Like the same way they use McCaffrey, right? The whole run game, pass game, just seem as a decoy. I think they see the same thing. They probably just have a high. Yes, they had a high draft grade on him. Obviously, second overall pick. So same thing with McCaffrey. Eagles were interested in McCaffrey as well coming out of the draft. They just were never able to get up there and grab him. So I think they're just trying to grab another elite talent. But yeah, I think we're all I'd be excited to see how that goes. Saquon in the Eagles uniform, Penn State star returning to Pennsylvania. So yeah, like I said, I'm coming around the corner on this one. I'm liking it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything from the Eagles. We'll find out who they trade for next. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, still early. I mean, only 4 days in, I think. 3 or 4 days into free agency. I mean, a lot of big names are gone. Still a lot of moves being made, as you saw today. So we'll check out our social media page. Try and stay up to date as much as we can. Just what's going around the league. And yeah, just check out our videos. Like I said, check out part one if you've missed the free agency kind of news from around the league. But thanks for sticking around. Hit the like button, notification bell so you see when we post. Comment down below, just saying hello or whatever. Any hot takes or whatever you want to say. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Shoots.
Shoot.
Huge.